to do a handful more episodes. But Elizabeth Berkley wasn't available.
Right.
Neither was
Ironically, that first
Tiffany
movie
Thiessen.
that first movie takes place in Vegas.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Tiffany Thiessen was on 90210 by that point, and Elizabeth Berkley wasn't available. I can't think of anything else she was doing at that time other than this.
Now, the timeline doesn't add up.
Okay. How so?
But wouldn't it have been funny
Yeah.
if they were in Vegas for the first movie and they saw a poster for Goddess
Nomi Malone Goddess?
going, she looks familiar.
That would be amazing.
They're not name-checking that movie on a program for teenagers. Well, maybe.
They could.
Well,
They could.
I don't know. NC-17, right?
Let's see. Okay, so she signed on to play the role. She was trying to get the most unsaved by the bell role she could get, so she could be taken seriously as an actor. Some of it worked.
Part of that was accurate.
Yeah, you definitely took the most unsaved by the bell role. Seriously?
Well.
Jenny McCarthy supposedly was actually dropped because she couldn't dance. Well, that's fair.
Neither can Elizabeth Berkley.
No! I'll get to that in a minute. There's a point I'll get to. Remind me if you can. Jennifer Lopez claims she auditioned and it was the worst audition of her career. Doesn't say who she auditioned for. Madonna, Sharon Stone, Sean Young, Daryl Hannah, and Finola Hughes, who allegedly turned down the script because she thought it was sexist. It is. Were considered,
very much so.
Yeah, were considered for the part of Crystal Connors before Gina Gershon became available.
I could see most of them.
They were, well, that was the thing. They were considered. It doesn't mean they were all for it.
No. What I'm saying is, I could see it.
I can see Madonna, Sharon Stone.
Maybe not Sean Young.
Not Sean Young. Definitely not Daryl Hannah. I don't know who Finola Hughes is. I'm sure if I saw a picture of her, I would know. But I'm guessing really the first two and maybe Sean Young. Maybe.
God, if
would
Madonna
be
and Elizabeth Berkley were in Showgirls,
it might have done better.
Maybe.
Just Madonna's name alone.
Maybe.
Because I'm sorry, I love Gina Gershon, but she wasn't really all that popular in 1995. Kyle MacLachlan says Dylan McDermott was the first choice to play the character of Zach Carey, but he declined, and MacLachlan was then cast. No. MacLachlan recalled, that was a decision that was sort of tough one to make, but I was enchanted with Paul Verhoeven, particularly RoboCop, which I loved. It was Verhoeven and Esther Haas. It seemed like it was going to be the kind of dark, edgy, and disturbing and real. Well, it's kind of some of those things. It's definitely edgy and disturbing. Yeah. Real, I don't know about that, but I made the fucking Shannon Elizabeth joke with Elizabeth Berkley. You can make kind of the same joke with Dylan McDermott and Kyle MacLachlan for the most part. Yeah, they're very much interchangeable. But I don't think Dylan McDermott was was at the point in his career that he could turn down anything.
Kyle MacLachlan
in 95.
Was?
No.
That's what
Kyle MacLachlan couldn't turn down anything. That's why he did this. But I'm refusing to believe that Dylan McDermott was the first choice and turned it down.
I mean, he always has the David Lynch of it all to fall back on with Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah, exactly. Kyle MacLachlan has more of a shot to turn it down than Dylan McDermott, but Dylan was the first choice.
Right.
I don't believe that he turned it down. I just think he wasn't ever considered. But this is what I'm reading. I'm getting this. Somebody said this somewhere. In the original screenplay, Molly was described as a chubby Caucasian girl. Doesn't say why it was changed. I don't know. Gina Gershon originally wasn't supposed to have an accent, but she was so adamant she just talked in the accent on and off set, hoping no one would notice. Ironically, she hates it now and wishes she could redo it.
They're probably just like, the fuck are you doing, Gina?
When did this... Okay.
I thought I'd be from Texas. Well, you thought fucking wrong.
That's legitimately what it is. She just thought she was a Texas girl, and they had to clearly write it into the script because she says it at some point.
I'm from Del Rio.
Yep. But okay.
And they stamped it by having cartoon Texas people show up.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Nomi's mispronunciation of Versace as Versace. Versace as Versace was suggested by Elizabeth Berkley. I believe that is the most fictional thing in this fucking movie, and I'll get to why later on. Generally, Paul Verhoeven has was insistent that actors not ad-lib or change lines as they were scripted, since he had done those interviews to get some of the lines directly in the screenplay. 3 changes were allowed, however. The line, "Smiling Beaver," was changed to "Smiling Snatch." The line, "She's Ginchy," was changed to "She's No Butterfly." And the line, "I want to see the pimples on your ass," was changed to "I want to see your ass." I just put that in there because that is the weirdest sentence I've ever read. The only time actresses complained that they were uncomfortable was during the scenes with the monkeys, who constantly stared at their bare breasts.
Excuse me, Paul! Paul! Can we get the monkeys out of here? They're staring at all the girls' tits.
Yeah.
But it's great for the movie, huh?
It's the monkeys, yeah?
Once the monkeys come in and they look at the woman's boobs, and it's funny,
He's
monkeys.
funny. Everybody loves monkey. Oh, God. This fucking
Type
movie.
of gong show are we running here, Paul? Damn, naked ladies, monkeys running around. Kids are here. There are children here.
There were children present. This is actually true. I was able to find this on YouTube. Elizabeth Berkley told David Letterman that she was straightforward with the crew. On the first day of filming, Berkley acknowledged how much of her body they'd see, i.e. all of it, for the next 4 months of filming, and told them they'd better get used to it. I don't think it's them that needed to get used to it.
Yes, because I'm sure the union guys holding the boom mics are going to be this is gross, Lou. We got to look at this girl naked for 4 months?
Yeah.
I think
God
it's fine.
damn it.
I think it's fine.
Playing a stripper turned showgirl felt so comfortable. It seems, Berkley jokingly said, she received tips from the crew during her performances. They were fucking making it rain.
You got any singles, Lou? I want to make it rain over Jesse Spano over here. Hey.
You know what, though? That does sound like the best way to make it the least uncomfortable you can. It's just like, fuck it, go. Like, let's just have some fun. Thank fuck. McLaughlin used a body double. You fucking pussy.
What's wrong?
Come on, man.
Come on, Dale Cooper. What are you doing here?
Come on, dude. Like, you're seeing her and all together. Fucking, the least you could do is show your ass, man. Fuck you. Fucking Kyle MacLachlan. There were considerable competition between Elizabeth Berkley and Gina Gershon off-screen, which is subtly encouraged by Verhoeven, as it would help portray their on-screen feud better.
Yes, fight. He's
fight
for the movie.
Yes. The only interior scenes that were actually filmed in Las Vegas are the ones in which Nomi plays slot machines at the Forum Shops Spago in Caesar's Palace. Well, yeah, because why waste the money?
Yeah. You could do a soundstage in LA.
The amount of money they must have spent to just block off that one street for the opening scenes when she's running across.
That's probably enough.
That was probably half the budget. Okay, so really, the thing that's going to take up most of this, the reception of this film. So, Showgirls was the first, and to date only, NC-17 rated film to be given a wide release in mainstream theaters. Esterhaus caused...
Never again!
Esterhaus caused a small controversy during an interview where he called upon young people to use fake IDs to gain access to the NC-17 rated movie.
It's illegal, sir.
As such, distributor United Artists dispatched several hundred staffers in theaters across North America playing Showgirls to ensure that patrons would not sneak into the theater from other films, and to make sure filmgoers were over the age of 17. Esterhaus took out a full-page advertisement in Variety in which he dubbed the film a morality tale and denounced the advertising of the film as misguided. Also writing, "The movie shows that dancers in Vegas are often victimized, humiliated, used verbally and physically raped by the men who are at the power centers of the world." Stop making this movie into more than what it is.
You made a titty picture,
You
bro.
made a titty picture, man. Stop trying to make this as a legit thing, alright? Just stop.
Did you see the movie
Yeah.
that you wrote?
Like, I understand you were trying to make a morality tale. This movie is not deep, buddy. It's just not.
Like I said, it's as deep as a kiddie pool.
Yeah, it's as deep as a fucking frisbee. This is dumb. The film was a critical and commercial failure on its initial release. In 1997, Esterhaus said, "We clearly made mistakes." Clearly, it was one of the biggest failures of our time. It failed commercially, critically, it failed on videotape. It failed internationally. In retrospect, part of it was that Paul and I were coming off of Basic Instinct, which defied the critics, and was a huge success. Maybe there was a certain hubris involved. We can do what we want to do, go as far out there as we want. The rape scene was a god-awful mistake. In retrospect, a terrible mistake. And musically, it was eminently forgettable, and casting mistakes were made. I will debate you on the music, sir.
Oh, the music's great in this movie, I think.
You use fucking David Bowie and Prince. I mean, it's unfortunate what you're doing during those songs.
And the actual score itself.
The score is fantastic.
Pretty damn good, man.
So don't fucking talk the music, son.
Like near
everything
the end
else
of the movie
you did,
where she's looking over Vegas and she's eating the burger, like that kind of like mid-90s, like... Not synth, but it's a little synthy. But there's you can hear the guitar. You can really.
It's like, a little bit synthy.
The score might be the only legitimately good thing about this film.
It actually is true. So don't say anything bad about the music, sir. McLaughlin recalled seeing the film for the first time at the premiere. I was absolutely gobsmacked. I said, "This is
into his chair."
Yeah, I said, "This is horrible, horrible." And it's a very slow, sinking feeling when you're watching this movie. And the first scene comes out, and you're like, oh, that's a really bad scene. But you say, well, it's okay. Next one will get better. And you somehow try to convince yourself that it's going to get better. And it just gets worse.
And he was in Dune.
I know.
That says a lot.
I know. And I was like, wow, that was crazy. I mean, I really didn't see that coming. So at that point, I distanced myself from the movie. Now, of course... it has a whole other life of sort of an inadvertent satire. No, satire isn't the right word, but it's inadvertently funny. So it's found its place. It provides entertainment, though not in the way I think it was originally intended. It was just maybe the wrong material with the wrong director and the wrong cast. So, wrong.
Although he's right about the whole...
it's definitely
funny without trying to be funny.
I'll get there. Elizabeth Berkley was dropped by her agent after this film was released.
Jesus Christ.
She once said of the film, ever since those reviews of Showgirls, it was like I was that woman in the Scarlet Letter, except that instead of having to wear the letter A for adulteress, I was condemned to wear the letter S for Showgirls. We got it. A little bit over-explaining.
Let me explain what the Scarlet Letter to you. Is. That's okay, Nomi.
We got this, Nomi. Go over there.
You've done enough.
Go find potato chips, which is the subplot of this movie. In 2015, Paul Verhoeven said the film ruined Elizabeth Berkley's career. He said Showgirls certainly ruined the career of Elizabeth Berkley in a major way.
Bad. It's my bad.
I did it.
Sorry.
It made my life more difficult, but not to the degree it did Elizabeth.
I was fine. I made Starship Troopers.
I'm
good. Hollow Man.
Yes.
Her.
Hollywood turned their backs on her. If somebody has to be blamed, it should be me, because I thought that it was interesting to portray somebody like that. I had hoped the end of the movie would explain why she acted that way, when it's revealed she has convictions linked with the drugs. But that, too, turned out to be a big mistake. I asked Elizabeth to do all that, to be abrupt, and to act in that way. But people have been attacking her about that ever since.
And this was 2015?
Yeah.
You took 20 years.
20 years to be like, hey, I'm the one who told her to act like a crazy person.
You know what? It's my bad.
Mm-hmm. I did consider that people would think she had a borderline personality, but that was because her character had a history of drug use, so I tried to express that through her abruptness. You fucked up. If this is what you told her to do, yeah, you fucking ruined her career, dude. Plain and simple. The box office failure of both this movie and Cutthroat Island made the bankruptcy of Carolco inevitable.
Yeah.
Showgirls was universally derided by film critics. However, Roger Ebert, following a relatively lukewarm review, 2 stars out of 4, wrote that Showgirls received some bad reviews, but it wasn't completely terrible. What movie did we I keep forgetting. What did we cover like 2 weeks ago?
Clue?
Yeah. I believe in
Police
Clue.
Academy or Clue, one of those?
It was either Police Academy... It was Police Academy, I think.
Yeah.
He said that that's one of the worst movies he's ever fucking seen in his life.
But this one's not that bad.
But this one's not that bad.
No. This one's got a lot of titties.
Ebert, buddy. I can't get on you. I can't get on you for that one. Like, Jesus, man. What is wrong with you?
Well, Jesus.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Sir. Well, I clearly like him and Siskel because I put them in, every time I find their review, it goes on this episode.
Yeah.
That is on purpose because I loved them as film reviewers and I watched them all the time.
But I'll still take them
to task. But I will still take them to task when I think they're wrong. A source once told Paul Verhoeven that Steven Spielberg